Hey gang, Brian here. Of course I've shaved so I look a lot different. I just got the news about Jerry Ward passing from BioS3 training. So I did know Jerry, and I just want to tell you guys, I always had a background in working out, and but as an adult, you know, it kind of went on the back burner as I had things to do. I had responsibilities. And the industry I was in, which I'm back in now, the music industry, I burnt out from that. And I had a few years ago, 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18. I burnt out and I just got back into working out in my 40s. I did some crazy stuff, guys. Did some crazy stuff and some crazy travels. Met a lot of people. This YouTube channel, I have no hopes for anything big. I just thought, you know, I was a nobody from Nobodyville, Canada. We did some crazy stuff in my 40s. Learned a lot of lessons, hard lessons, good lessons. But I met a lot of people, and one of the people that made the biggest positive impression on me was Jerry Ward. I first met Jerry in 2017. I went down to Real Weights for Real Heroes. It was an event that Tiger Fitness and Mark Lobliner were putting on. Jerry was very well known. He was a celebrity in the industry. And I did an interview with him. I'm going to post it after this so you guys can watch it. And but the day before the event, a select few people were invited to go work out at the Tiger Fitness gym. And I had an invite to go through Massive Iron Steve Shaw. And when I was there, Jerry Ward was there, and I approached him. And here I am. I'm Nobodyville from Nobodyville, Canada, right? My time on YouTube with that was very brief but fleeting. In the end of 2017, 2018, YouTube really changed. I was honestly answering some questions about things people take in the industry, and I got shut down 3 copyright strikes all in a row. My channel, boom, I think I had about 4,000 subscribers, but I had some videos with a lot of views. But anyway, I approached him. I was very insecure. I'm like, man, I'm this nobody. Everyone else has at least 100,000 subscribers on YouTube here, and I have like 500 at the time. And Jerry just took an interest in me. I remember he talked to me for about an hour. He took an hour of his time at the Tiger Fitness gym talking to me. We had a number of things in common, including we were relatively close in age. I was a few years older than him. In our backgrounds, our training, we had a number of things in common. And, he took a genuine interest in me. He was asking me questions about me and everything. I remember him saying that his wife worked for Emergency, and he was really big on health and staying healthy in your 40s. Like, it's not good to be big anymore in your 40s. It's hard on the heart. He was big on talking to me about heart health. He was kind of like, you're a big boy, man, but you're getting on in your 40s. You got to really think about your heart health. And, oh, man, it really affected me. Hearing that he died, and he gave me one of the biggest things. He said, biggest secret in YouTube, just be you. I didn't quite know what that meant, and even though I'm back on YouTube in my music business now, I'm kind of figuring out what that means, but I think I got it now. But he was just a really nice, kind guy, and I met some people in the industry who weren't so nice. Some people that you'd be very surprised. I could tell you a few stories, which I'm not going to. So this channel, guys, was not... I'm posting this just for the few people out there that might encounter it, might get something out of it. I was just a guy from Nobodyville. Did some crazy stuff in my 40s. Accomplished some crazy stuff. I managed to get some sponsorships, a bit of a following. Could deadlift some crazy amount of weight in my mid-40s. A lot of people weren't doing that, But I learned a lot of lessons about a lot of things. So all these old videos I have in storage, I upload them every now and then. If you guys get something out of it, great. But I'm very sad today about Jerry Ward. I'm like really sad. It's really affected me, and I just remember just how kind he was and just how nice. And I'm thinking about Jerry today and his family, and I'm just going to post here the interview I had with him. Stay strong, friends, but most of all, stay healthy. All right, so friends, House of Gains is the Cocky Jerk. We are here at Power Station Gym, Middletown, Ohio. Great cause, raising money for the Semper Fi Fund. And very fortunate to have Jerry Ward from BioS3 Training here. I got to meet Jerry last night at the Tiger Fitness Gym at tigerfitness.com. And I always knew with Jerry I'd hit it off with him because we're about the same age, give or take a couple of years. We have a lot of similar life experiences and stuff, but we have a few minutes right now, so that'd be a good time to talk with Jerry about just a few things he caught up with her. But Jerry, it's great to meet you finally.
Absolutely, man. Me too.
And so, what do you think about the event today?
I mean, so far, I mean, you know, we're the only ones here, so it's not kicking off yet. But the fact that I think we're literally about $4,000 away from raising $50,000 in like a short time span. I mean, let's say, you know, Mark had been pumping this thing for like 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
You know, like let's say it's an annual thing. If he starts pushing it next week for next year, I mean, what are we looking at? Like $200,000 possibly? I mean, it's crazy. And my father being a Vietnam veteran that passed away, I actually got to see how bad the system really is. Because I didn't know until he was ill how bad the care is and how they treat the veterans. And yeah, so as soon as Mark was like, hey, do you want to do something for the veterans? I'm like, let's go. You know, like, absolutely.
You're still on the East Coast?
Yeah, I'm in Virginia still. Yeah.
Virginia, okay, awesome, cool. Well, we were talking about a whole bunch of stuff last night. Jerry has a background in professional wrestling, as I do. I was telling about my injury last year, but it's kind of funny. One of the things I really wanted to talk to Jerry about on camera is he gives such good life lessons to some of these young lifters. Like, it's amazing the comments I'll get saying, if I'm talking about an injury or something, I did a video a few weeks ago about my pec tear and trying to recover from it. And you get these kids that say, oh, just suck it up. What's the big deal? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. But you were saying you have an extensive list of injuries too, and you're talking a lot about your injuries and training and trying to get around a lot of injuries. It's been a big learning curve for me the past few years. When you hit your 40s, it's like, okay, your body changes.
Yeah, it's different.
So what do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I used to be that kid. You know, I was the kid in the gym, and you know, my first mentor, Al Thurston, was probably in his early to mid 40s, and he would tell you know, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint, and you know, of course, I didn't listen, and I was fine until about 32 maybe, or 30, yeah, about 32, and I got the first pec strain. It seems like the strain kind of precedes the pec tear for some reason. And of course it kind of heals, but never really goes away, and I just kind of didn't pay attention because I was still felt all right, and eventually the pec tore. And then I kind of was like,
exactly? I don't mean to cut you off.
So I was, I hadn't benched, so when I was younger I was a big bencher. It was my big, I could out bench my squat. I mean, I was always a big bencher. And I hadn't bench pressed flat in quite a while. Not to a heavy degree anyways. I was doing a lot of inclines, trying to hit my upper pecs for a while. And at this day, I was actually in the gym doing flat bench, and one of my friends who did strongman competitions was on the next bench. And he had 405 on, and he was doing reps, and I said, I haven't done 405 in a while. I feel pretty good today, which is probably the worst thing. That's off the bat. When you feel good, it's probably, you're getting an injury like that day probably coming. And I went up to 315, I got at about the 8th rep of 315, and it popped. Like, I felt it pop, I heard it pop, and my girlfriend at the time was spotting me. She goes, what was that? I said, just take it. She racked it, and I was like, I was kind of taking like a, you know, assessment to see what's going on. It was a little bit swollen, but there was no bruising, and you couldn't see the tear. But I was also heavy at that time, so like I had enough fat on me where you couldn't really see the pec tear. Yeah. And you know, the swelling went down and stuff. And then when I dieted down for the show that year, you could actually see the indentation. It's slight, but I could notice because I had very symmetrical pecs like my whole life. I could see it, and I was like, shit, that's what that poppy noise was. Wow. So I mean, that was the first injury. The next one was that was the second injury. The first one was a forearm tear. Wow. I had done back and biceps that day with a lot of volume. I was training a client right afterwards, and I grabbed a 45-pound plate, and I picked it up, I swung it up like this to catch it, and when I swung it, my forearm popped. Oh. And that bruised like immediately, and there was like a little hole in my forearm. So, you know, I got ice on it right away to try to minimize it, and, you know, it didn't do anything to the function. So I was like, I'm not even going to bother going to the doctor, just like tough it out, which again is a stupid thing to do.
Where's the toys, Mom?
And then finally the rotator cuff and the bicep tendon tore on the right side. And then this past year, getting ready for the Team Universal last year, there was a tendonitis starting on this side, which is how that one started before it tore. So within the last, you know, 10 years, I've had injuries that pretty much don't allow me to bench press or incline bench press or squat because of you know, knee injuries that I've had from. I tell the story on my channel. I need somebody in the head so hard that I had tissue damage in my knee. So it's like I can't squat because of the knee and my lower back. It's just everything. It seems like after 35, everything kind of changed and started.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's not recovering as well, and it just.
And then you have these young kids on the channel saying, "Suck it up, old man." And I mean, it's like, yeah, give it 15 or 20 years, right?
I mean, they'll get there. I mean, I never thought I would. So one day they're gonna get there, and they're not going to remember us probably. They're not going to be like, oh, I remember what you were saying now, but they'll get it. You know, everybody does sooner or later. So.
What did you think about? I saw a thing where Stan Efferding was talking about he used IGF-1 on his knees. I don't know.
Yeah, I get, first, most of the IGF out there is not real. The LR3 and the DES and stuff, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
I used real IGF, and it was years ago, and it was very expensive. And what happened was I was getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Then when you come off of it, you just drop the weight.
I
So it's not real muscle.
Yeah.
It's like an inflated cell volumization effect or something like that. Kind of like insulin, like it blows you up when you come off and you come down.
Yeah.
But like growth hormone, to me, I did growth hormone for years. It didn't kill the joints and stuff like that. So, you know, I don't know where a lot of these guys talk about like the studies and stuff, and I'm like, I'll heal if I get cut.
Yeah.
Like I heal super fast on this stuff if I'm cut.
Yeah.
But you know, joints themselves, like we don't have a dietary source of collagen that we take in that repairs joints.
Yeah.
So for years and years and years, I wasn't using the collagen, it's just wearing them down, wearing them down, wearing them down until something tears, and then it's never going to be the same again after it tears.
So we talked about the injuries and everything. A common question I get, if you're cool talking about this, I get asked about SARMs already. I've never used them. I don't know a lot about them. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, now SARMs are illegal. I mean, they're
They are.
they're not pharmaceutically made anymore, so it's like research grade. So it's technically not for human consumption. Which anytime you have that, you don't know what you're really getting. So people are ordering stuff from China, capping it, putting it in liquids and stuff. And I've had people say, I get this side effect, I get that side effect, and you're not supposed to get it with that. So I don't really know what they're taking. For myself, I tried them when I first got with Primeval. They actually used to make them like years ago, and I tried them. And I did notice that, you know, I got stronger, I got bigger, but it wasn't like a steroid. So it's like, for me, what I saw with them, I thought the best use for them, if you've never taken anything, you're going to see results. Not like steroids, but you see results, but it's a good to bridge between steroid cycles. And they didn't have it back in the day. So you can come off all the steroids, stay on SARMs, and then go back on a cycle afterwards, like 10, 12 weeks and not lose the mass. Other than that, I don't think they're everything they cracked out to be. And also, you don't know what you're getting anymore. You have no idea what you're getting. Like, it's just not worth it, in my opinion.
So what do you have in the future? What's coming up for you?
So last week I was with Jake Cutler. The week before I was in Vegas with Super League with Dorian Yates. Next week I go out to Arkansas with Dallas McCarver to do an event out there. Then I got a few weeks off, and then the Olympia in September, which is our biggest event that we have every year. And then a couple months off, we'll finish out the year going to Mexico for vacation. And then everything starts over again in January for the LA Fit Expo.
Awesome. Last thing I want to talk to you about is the YouTube demonetization. I just got hit with the yellow wall of death a few days ago. Thoughts on that?
I don't know how it works. You know, a friend of mine, Nick Wright, actually got hit with it. He posted the other day with it. People get hit. I haven't yet, so I'm not sure why. I don't know how it's working, but I do know that there was a point, and I don't know if it's happening on your channel, but when you put up a video, your sub count would automatically drop, which has been going on for quite a while. And if I don't put up a video, it starts to go back up. Put up a video, you can watch it drop almost immediately. And I talked to YouTube about it, and they were like, "No, we don't know what you're talking about." I'm like, if you just go and search on YouTube, you know, subscribers dropping, all the videos are there. Everyone's talking about it, so they denied it. And, you know, I don't know how their stuff works. They say it's an algorithm. They say they have new people monitoring YouTube, deciding what is right and what's wrong to put up, like what's risky. You know, they're not deleting channels, which is good. They're saying we don't want that content up, so we're just going to delete the whole channel. They're just demonetizing it so that you're not making any money. But I also know that someone had their video demonetized, but there's still an ad running, which means that YouTube is still getting the money for it, but not paying the individual. And I said, well, if it's not suitable for advertisers, how is there an ad on it and you're not getting paid? You know, I've had videos that made a decent amount of money in like a few weeks, then they get demonetized, and you don't even get paid that money that you made for that few weeks.
Yeah.
They automatically just, I don't know what happens, so I think they just keep it. I think that's how that works. So I'm not really sure how it works yet. I'm just assuming that I'm going to get hit by it. But at this point, like, you know, if I was making zero on YouTube, I'd still be doing it. You know, when I first started doing it, I didn't even monetize the channel. So if it went back down to nothing, it's not like my source of income. So I would still do what I do. I still enjoy doing it, and I'll do it until I don't enjoy doing it.
Yeah, well, that's the way I look at it. I mean, our channel is very small, of course, but growing slowly and steady. But Jerry, we want to thank you so much for our time.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
And from the House of Games, remember, friends don't let friends go cat a ball. We'll see you next time.